Okay, I'm Adelekan David. I'll be talking about packaging and exporting your talents as a software developer. Okay, a little about me. Okay, I'm a front-end developer at Aleph Education, Abu Dhabi, UAE. Um, okay, I majorly work with JavaScript, that's on the front end, with React, a little of Node, Django, Laravel, Kotlin. I'm a Baka fan, and when I'm not working, I'm always playing game. That's play FIFA, Call of Duty, Hitman, and so. So, okay. A little disclaimer about this talk. It's just my opinion. It doesn't mean it's valid but okay. Based on the keynote speaker, most of what I'll be talking about is I actually saw some of what I'll be speaking on in our slides. So I think to some degree it's actually valid, even though it's an opinion. Okay. My outlines are just okay. Knowing the basics, continuously improving yourself, networking. That's leveraging on meetups, conferences, professional platforms, social media. Then okay, packaging and marketing yourself. That's the main aspect. Then after you've landed that job, maintaining your job. I can remember I was at PyCon 2017. I was actually sitting at that part. Um, up to March, up to April this year, I was still working in a software company in Lekki. So I would just like to share my experience on how to land that, whether it's a remote, though I'm not working remotely, I work there in Abu Dhabi, whether it's a remote job or actually a foreign full-time job. Okay? Okay, so the first outline, knowing the basics. Okay, I'll just be sharing what I've learned over the years. I've been into software development for almost a decade. So the first thing I'll be talking about is choose a path / tech which is relevant and you are comfortable with. A lot of times you go to meetups, conferences, and people start with different arguments. Flask is better than Django. Django is better than this. Angular is better than React. React is better than Angular. Vue is better than the two of them. All those things, just leave it aside. It doesn't really count. What really counts is what you can do and how you can improve yourself on that. The thing is, there's in the market share of jobs outside, you would, whether one is good or not, you will still see different adverts of whether it's different frameworks that you want to work with. So what I'll just advise is that you should be comfortable with what you are doing. One thing with programming is you can achieve the same result in 5 or multiple ways. Just focus on what you want to do and be the best you can be at it. Then the second one is knowing the basics. I remember when I wanted to start Python, I started out. It's not a wrong thing. I moved into Django. Then there were so many things I didn't understand that was going on in Django. Then I had to first go back to Python and understand what it was before I could really understand what Django was talking about. So you can, any Tom, Dick, and Harry can take a framework and start working on it. Fine, you could do some things with it, but let me use my example. When I was to get this job, I was in a 3 hours interview with the tech guys there, and never for once, I was recruited as a React developer. Never for once did they ask me any question about React. What they were asking me about was core JavaScript, core algorithms, the in-depth knowledge of JavaScript. Most times, I know some of you will have taken some exams or tests, technical tests for some jobs. Most times they will tell you to solve a particular problem, plain JavaScript or plain Python or no framework. What they just want to do is, they know that you know the framework, but they want to know if you know the language itself. because most times it's about the basics. Then also understand development patterns. I know I was coming from a company where I was the only developer writing front end, back end, database, doing business requirement, doing everything. And I was going to a company where we were like 46 engineers, where you have to work everything, even your code has to be a product. It's not just, oh, it's showing what I want to show on the screen. The actual code itself has to be a product to other developers. So different patterns come into play, not just writing code for writing sake and you click a button and it works. You have to understand how the pattern works. Then also, what Rebecca talked to about open source projects, you could contribute on open source projects, follow different open source projects. I know then what I'll just do is, all these popular JavaScript projects, I will go and just go through the source code, check how things are working. Then continuously improve yourself. What I do, even right now as I am, if someone that just started software development last year or even a couple of months ago and he knows something that I don't know, please, just tell me, just teach me about this thing. There's really no harm in asking for help. I just have this mentality. As I am right now, I don't know. To me, people just tell me, guy, you are good. To me, I'm not that good. What I just know is I want to continue to learn. Learn. That's what will just help you. Then, also, the second point is have a go-to person. For me, I have a go-to person in the house here. Is Oini Abiola. Fortunately for me, is my brother-in-law. So he has no choice to help me. But, okay, you can also go through, okay, that's in one-on-one. I have a one-on-one relationship with him. Then it could be with community mentorship. But that doesn't mean any single question or any single problem you run into, you just push it to that person. I remember a couple of weeks ago on Dev channel and Dev Center Slack channel, someone just sent a message to me that, hey guy, I saw your profile, you're a front-end developer. How do you declare variables in JavaScript? And my first reply was, that if you are doing any programming language, that's like the first thing you learn, declaring variables. And I told him that these are not the kind of questions you should be asking me. That question put me off. Then a couple of days later, he sent me a message that I want to develop my site. I said, okay, I'm not ready for freelance now. I don't do freelance. He said, no, I just need the source code from me. And I was saying, which source code? Like, I don't know if I'm done. I don't know what you want to do. And I never replied that message. Those kind of messages can put off people that are supposed to help you. So in as much as you need a go-to person, you should also be independent on yourself too. So stick to your career path. There are so many places one can fit into. AI, data science, front-end, back-end, everything. Just one might be the boom now, doesn't mean it will always be the boom. Just focus on what you want to do. If it's back-end, you want to focus. Like, before leaving Nigeria, I was a full stack business developer, everything. But after I left, my job role is as a front-end developer. So that's what I'm focused on. At work, if they're doing back-end stuff, even though I try to learn, I'm focused on learning front-end, learning more front-end. Each time I register for courses online about front-end, I want to know more about front-end. You just stick to what you want to learn and learn it well. Then networking, that's where it comes to play. Before leaving, every meetup in Nigeria, I attend Laravel Nigeria, For Loop, everything. To just meet people. I said I was at PyCon last year, just to meet people. You never can know where you will meet the next person that would connect you. And most times, we are fortunate enough in the career path we are that we can easily relate with people outside the country. Like, take for instance, as a doctor in Nigeria, it's not really easy for you to really relate with other people. You have to just stick with your position. But in the tech world, with social media and everything, you can easily connect with people in the industry, in the community, share ideas. From there, they know that, yes, this guy is growing. let's just, okay, give him an opportunity. Like, I remember the last job I had in Nigeria, I was trying to learn a particular framework and React together. I was going through through the internet. I was trying to check for tutorials on it. I couldn't get. So I said, okay, let me learn it and write about it. So after doing that, I wrote about it. So my former boss was trying to do something like that. So he now stumbled upon my tutorial. Then he now checked the name. This guy is a Nigerian guy now. He now contacted me. That's how I got my last job. I never applied for it. It was just because of what I wrote. We know the popular celebrity developers in Nigeria, like Unicode developer, Codebase. I've gone through a library where, like that Unicode developer wrote. The thing is, these guys are good, but you wouldn't have known about them if they didn't put themselves out. Like, him writing that library, writing that tutorial, most times you see them on Twitter, publicizing it. It's not good enough that, oh, I know what I'm doing, but nobody else knows. You have this advantage that nobody knows how good or bad you are until you tell them. So the thing is, if I meet you today, I don't know how good you are. I don't know how bad you are. So you have that leverage to tell me whether you are good or bad. So that's where you need to publicize yourself. Most times it's all about publicity, packaging. Yeah. Like, you leverage on your LinkedIn, Medium, Twitter. Like, the post I have on Medium, like, currently I've even stopped. I wrote that tutorial in 2016. Up to now, I still get people following me on Medium, telling me this is a great post, even though the version I used, they've upgraded, and some of the things are obsolete there. I have over like 30,000 views on the Medium post. Then packaging yourself. Keep your CV simple. Nobody wants to check about your, I can work under pressure, all these career goals, all those things. A previous company I was working, I was part of the people recruiting developers. We don't check all those things. All we just check is how we can contact you first, your project, your stack, whether it's relevant to what we want, and that's just about, and the last thing we check is your education. Even to us, education wasn't really the main thing, because once we give the go-ahead, HR doesn't have any problem with it, because we know this guy is good. So just keep it simple. For the past 3 years, I've been maintaining a one-page CV. If you are not good with it, that's your business. I don't care about, as far as I know, is all the things I want you to see about me. If you need any other information, you can ask me. Like, if you see an example of my CV, I've been maintaining this structure of this CV for the past 3 years. Just keep it simple. And most of the jobs I've applied for, they've actually commended me that, wow, we like the way your CV is. Don't need to put 3-4 pages that you distract the person as he's asking you, be flipping through pages to look for where your education is, where your projects are, and all those things. Just keep it simple. So, okay, let me go. Okay. Then document your achievements, trainings, certifications. Even after this Python conference, I will go and update my LinkedIn profile and say a tech conference speaker. I will update it. I check my LinkedIn more than I check Instagram, Facebook. I check it every single hour. I check to know who has opened my profile. How many times my profile appeared on search results. For me, that's my own social media, my LinkedIn profile. I check it every time, and like a couple of days ago, I was learning Vue.js. After like 4 hours of learning it, I went to my LinkedIn profile and put Vue.js as a skill. The thing is, they are not asking you how well you know it. What skill do you have? That's just my own opinion about it. It might not be applicable to other people, but for me, if you now ask me that how well do you know it, I cannot say, okay, I'm a beginner, but it's a skill I've learned. Like, I just want to show you some screenshots that I've had with some recruiters. Like, if you check the first one, I tell you, I check my LinkedIn profile every time. From June 26th to July 3, that's in a week, I had 33. My profile came out in search like 36 times. Then I look at the people, General Motors, like a year ago or so. My profile wouldn't have even come out when General Motors were searching for people. The second one, Pearson, Dubezu, Sharaf DG. One of the things happened after this. The Sharaf DG is an e-commerce company in the UAE. They contacted me that, am I available for to come and work with them as a front-end developer? That's to show that even as they are searching, it might not come immediately. Even as they are searching your profile, after some time, if you keep on updating your profile, updating your online presence, you will see that after some time, you start getting offers from companies. You can see one of them contacted me. The next one was actually the job I went for. The guy just added me as a friend, as a connection on LinkedIn. Then he sent me an offer, and I told him I was ready. Then everything happened. Then even after that, so many other companies started contacting me, because what I did is I always keep my LinkedIn profile up to date. Most times, it could not only be LinkedIn. It could be your GitHub profile. It could be your Stack Overflow. One of it came because before I started this, I was a freelance developer on Upwork. Most of it, I was actually a top-rated developer on Upwork. And most of those came from my LinkedIn, from my Medium post. Like there was a particular one where the guy wanted something to be done, like a mobile app to be done. Just a page. And what I did was, I quickly did that and sent him the screenshot, even before getting the job. Then he said, oh, wow, you could have done this in 1 hour. Okay, let me just give you the job. So those kind of things, I don't joke with my Medium, even though Stack Overflow, I've not visited it in a while. My Medium, GitHub, LinkedIn, those are very important. Once you get this, you can just see other screenshots. Then I never knew my profile can even come out when Oracle was searching.
Wow.
Then the last point, maintaining your job, because even after landing that job, you need to maintain it. I was coming from a one-man mopole kind of job, and I was going to a job where there were 46 engineers, and everything has to work well. Like you can't just even pushing your code to repository. Every test has to pass. For every single function you write, you have to write tests for it. For everything, you have to do unit tests, integration tests, automated tests, everything. And I knew nothing about it. What I just did is, I opened up to them. Like a project we were supposed to start on, the 3 front-end guys that were there, we didn't know anything about GraphQL. We were coming from ordinary Redux and all. And I just told my boss, I've never done GraphQL. He said, no problem. I give you just 2 days to just learn about it. There's no point in trying to say, oh, I know this, and they give you, okay, do it, and you now mess up. I just told them, I don't know this. Each time they tell me to do something, I say, I don't know it, but I can learn it. Just own up to it. Learn things like Agile, TDD, because most times if you are getting these foreign jobs, there is a high chance that you are working in a large team. And things that we take for granted, if you are working alone, they don't take it for granted. My boss was telling me that your code runs is not even the problem. That it gives the output is not even the problem. The main thing is, if you are not here and we give another developer your work, the thing is we don't even write comments like, oh, this function does this. As far as your code is a product enough to be given to the next developer, it's fine. So even before you merge your pull request and everything, you have like 5 developers reviewing your code, giving you so many. I remember my first pull request, I had like over 30 comments. Like they were just telling me so many things, don't do this. I was saying, then I wasn't even allowed to do review for other people. But as time went on, people just started telling me, please help me review my PR. Help me review my PR. Okay, later on they told me, okay, set up this project on GitHub. Like because of they were looking at my progress. So I made it that I've landed this job, I don't know anything, but I must maintain this job. So that's the main part of it. Then the last thing is, like the popular musician, Kiss Daniel, no go they do pass yourself. Because the thing is, the team is the main thing. Nobody cares about the individual. Like where we work, when we are doing daily stand-up, they tell you, what did you do yesterday? What are you doing today? Do you have any blockers? Like, do you need anybody to help you? No need to brag. No need to say, I'm more than this. The team is the main thing. Nobody cares about the individual, whether this guy is the best developer or... So you don't need to try to impress people on what you are not. Just be yourself. Thank you.